What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy here on the Better Sports Network. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, John Luke Garofalo, and back from his trip to the U.S. Embassy in Bolivia, Joey Wright. And joining us today is our great friend, our OG friend in this industry. Andrew Erikson is here with us. Andrew, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and hang today.
My man.
Dude, I'm just glad that you didn't call me Eric this time. So I'm super excited to be here. Andrew Erikson, I am here, excited to rock and roll. What are we doing? Wheel of Fortune, trivia? I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
We were all impressed Simon didn't mess up right off the bat. We were all expecting it. Great job,
Everyone was
Simon.
holding their breath. I have like trauma from that. I lay in bed at night and think about it. It's one of like three memories that comes back when I'm like awake too late and my brain starts betraying me. It's that one. The time I made my dad get out of line for the roller coaster that he really wanted to ride at Universal Studios.
Oh, no.
And then the time that I pooped my pants at wrestling practice whenever I was in the fourth grade.
The singlet episode.
They just live right there. Guys, everybody watching, if you're not already following our friend Andrew and know when he's up to, he's a fantasy football analyst over at Fantasy Pros. He's got the fancy background behind him. You can find all his work over there, and you can find him on Twitter at Andrew Erikson _ there at the end. The link is below our YouTube video in the description as well. We'll throw it in the chat here shortly for you. Also, we brought Andrew here to play. He already mentioned it, some fantasy fortune, but we got people in the chat ready for today's show. Craig, our chat historian, coming in, saying today's guest is making his second FYF appearance after first appearing on February 26th, 2021 for brackets where Jalen Hurts won best late round quarterback and Fairly Odd Parents won best Nickelodeon cartoon. Hold up. The last time we had you on, Andrew, Jalen Hurts was a late round quarterback.
Yeah, it's wild. I was actually thinking about that the last time I was on the show, and I remember Fairly Odd Parents winning it, and it was like, okay, did they really deserve it? But the biggest thing was I think Jimmy Neutron was not even in the bracket at all. I remember that being a highly debated topic when we were reflecting on the bracket itself. We're like, wait, why is Jimmy Neutron not anywhere in the bracket? So
it has to be in a Nickelodeon cartoon.
Yeah,
it's right up there with Fairly Odd Parents. Did you guys know the Jimmy Neutron movie came before the TV show?
That's not true.
I read it the other day.
I remember seeing the movie in theaters and then watching the show after.
What?
Right?
That's not how my memory remembers it.
Yeah, me neither. I was at projections at a movie theater during that time, and I built that movie up.
Andrew's I don't think you guys are idiots.
Right. Maybe I didn't watch it until later, and maybe my little kid brain just thought everyone did things how I do them.
Jay's at least tangentially agreeing with you, Andrew. You were saying Jimmy Neutron, it was a scam. He wasn't in there, and Jay says terrible choice for best Nickelodeon cartoon. We got Damon here with the hey friends, game time, baby.
Friends, yay, friends.
Albert's stopping by to say hello to everyone. Jay.
Hello, Albert.
After sharing his unwarranted Nickelodeon opinions, is saying hello as well. What's up, Jay? Mr. Scamper's in here. Joey, you want to hit this one?
FYF, ooh, baby. Gonna get you on my show.
Absolutely.
Ooh, I went further with it. I just took it. Yeah, I know.
We got Dustin in the chat with the let's go hashtag team Joey, and Scampers in. You're saying pretty good call on Jalen Hurts. Yeah, let's all pat ourselves on the back for doing that one right at least.
I'd say one of those aged really well.
Don't pay attention to our terrible Nickelodeon takes, just our great fantasy takes.
All right, well, guys, today, like I mentioned, we brought Andrew here to play some fantasy fortune. Before we get into that, Andrew, we got you on here. We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but I just wanted to get your take on the hot topic in the NFL right now. Trey Lance now on the Dallas Cowboys. Do you think this is a situation where the Cowboys are seriously looking at a potential replacement for Dak, or is this a high-value backup that Jerry Jones just couldn't help himself from trading for?
I side with the latter there. I mean, they've had injuries before. Dak has gone down. Cooper Rush seems like someone that they feel confident can kind of steady the ship, but there was a reason why Lance was a guy people wanted to trade up for. He still does have a lot of upside. We just don't know if he is good at football. He just hasn't played enough football for us to really have any idea what he can actually do. So, I mean, I think at this point, Trey Lance is following the Geno Smith type of career arc where you're hoping that he just ends up on a team when he's 30 years old and just kind of oh yeah, remember when this guy got drafted in the first round?
So he's a stash,
cool, 10 years later. So I think the draft capital alone will just kind of keep him bouncing from roster to roster. So I mean, a 4th-round pick seems kind of like a lot, but honestly, like so many of these picks get wasted on terrible players anyway. I think that it's fine, especially with Dak, given some of his past injuries. I think it's being smart. You can never have too many quarterbacks, as we saw from this exact 49ers team. They had Josh Johnson in the NFC Championship game basically nuke their entire season because he couldn't play quarterback. So I think it was a smart move by Dallas to just bring in someone that has some upside.
I feel
Makes
like right as we start approaching the playoffs, the 49ers just going to start stacking up quarterbacks, go into the playoffs with like 15 quarterbacks on the roster. Not again.
Like we don't need a
Not
secondary.
again.
We just need extra quarterbacks. Dustin in here saying Lance is old news now. I forgot. It's August, baby, which means old news happened yesterday. New news happened 1 minute ago. And Joey, I wanted to throw this one to you. The JT rumors now are coming out that it's more likely than not he'll get traded. I believe that was said to Pat McAfee yesterday by Rappaport, if I'm not mistaken. Do you have an opinion on where you think he's going to end up week 1?
I was on a draft late last night, and there was a lot of Dolphins fans in there, and they were really pessimistic about him coming there, which is pretty true to Dolphins fans being pessimistic. They're a lot like Buccaneers fans, just Florida football fans. We just think everything's not going to happen for us. I still think he's going to go to the Dolphins. It just makes the most sense to me. I guess we'll see, but I don't know.
And the Dolphins are one of 2 teams rumored right now. And then the other team, I believe last I saw, was still unknown. We just know that there are 2 teams. It's the Dolphins and fill in the blank with this mysterious other team that is being very secretive.
It's probably a team just trying to bump up the price so the Dolphins have to pay more. Like, honestly, it would not surprise me if Belichick's sitting there being like, I'm going to keep bumping up the price. I want to make Miami pay for trying to sign Tom Brady, however long ago that was. So I actually think that, Miami had made a roster move. I think they restructured somebody's contract to like save money. It's like that's usually pretty indicative that they're embracing a salary cap hit of some sort to absorb a player like Jonathan Taylor. So for right now, I think it's probably going to end up being the Dolphins.
I'm choosing to fully believe the narrative that you just laid in front of me about Bill Belichick driving up the price. I'm not going to look up any other facts. That's exactly what's happening.
It could have been Jim Irsay. He might have gone and bought the Argonauts. It could just be a Canadian football team.
He is the mysterious team, Jim Irsay on the other side. That would not surprise me at all either.
He's over there just like thinking that he has just won the game. He's like, oh yeah. Big brain moves by Jim Irsay.
We did see, Joe, you tweeted about it earlier, Myles Gaskin cut by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So I know that's not a big move, but it is a running back that they no longer will have on their roster, maybe making room for another running back that's going to be coming in. And with that being said, Andrew coming in, letting us know it is cut day, which is one of the toughest days in the NFL. It is tough to watch. It's got to be tough for them. And I know it's tough for your fantasy teams, but have a little empathy at least until tomorrow and then complain about it.
No.
That being, you're right. What am I kidding? I say that until the second the running back I drafted in the last round of Scott Fishbowl gets cut by the Minnesota Vikings. Screw you, Vikings. This affects me. All right, with that being said, guys, it's time to get into our game today. Before we do that, a couple reminders. First and foremost, if you're not already following our guest, Andrew Erikson, on Twitter, you need to go remedy that right now. You can find him on Twitter at @AndrewErikson_ and check out his work over at Fantasy Pros. After you do that, come back to where you're watching this video on YouTube at Front Yard Fantasy or on the Better Sports Network YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us. It's the easiest way to show your support for what we're doing, and make sure you never miss one of our shows. And if you need that added layer of security, come around 3 p.m. each day. The little notification bell on the Front Yard Fantasy YouTube channel will alert you every day right before we go live to make sure you're not missing out on it. One last reminder before we get into our game, you can get your free 7-day trial of Fantasy Alarm's All-Pro subscription right now by going to fantasyalarm.com/draft. I mentioned it yesterday. JL wants no more of Coop's goodies, but if you want some of Coop's goodies, they're all hidden there inside that subscription. With that being said, Joey, I'm going to explain the rules and pass it off to you to run today's game.
Okay.
The game today is Fantasy Fortune. It's a lot like the popular TV show Wheel of Fortune, but with an NFL and fantasy twist. Instead of spinning a wheel, contestants are going to be answering 50-50 NFL or fantasy-related trivia questions in order to guess letters that appear in the puzzle that will be on the screen. Get your question right, you're going to get to guess a consonant that you think appears in the puzzle. You'll earn $500 for every instance of that consonant that shows up. Now, you can do this up to 3 times in a row. That is, answer a question correctly, get a letter correct. If either of those things are wrong at any time, your turn is immediately over. And if you get 3 in a row right, you're going to have 5 seconds to solve the puzzle, but then your turn is also over and we'll move on to the next contestant. If you get 3 in a row right, though, you're going to bank all of that money before it moves on to the next person. Now, during your turn, there are 2 other actions you can take before you've been asked a question. If you have a minimum of $500 in your round bank, you can choose to buy a vowel. They'll cost $100 per instance they show up to a max of $500. You can also choose at any time to solve the puzzle. You can no letter solve it while it's sitting up there on the screen, or most letters solve it. If you just figured it out a little bit later into the round, you will earn $1,000 or however much is in your round bank, whichever one is higher. At the end of this game, when you run out of time, run out of puzzles, or my deodorant runs out of the willpower to continue stopping my armpits from perspiring, we will end this show, and whoever's got the most money will be our Fantasy Fortune champion for today. Andrew, if it's you, send us your fax number, and we will have your Kohl's Cash to you within 48 business millennia.
Let's go.
Simon, I wanted to say you read the hell out of those rules, and I think they're all very important. However, I'd like my contestants to forget those rules completely for the next minute. The first puzzle is going to be a toss-up question. It will be an NFL player. I will slowly reveal letters. If you get it correct, you just say your name out loud, not your opponent's names, your name, and then you solve who the player is, and you get $500. And you get to go first in the next round. Does everybody understand the gibberish that just came out of my mouth?
Fully understand.
Oh, awesome.
But I cannot see the puzzle.
All right. Oh, let's share my screen. How about we do that, folks? Oh gosh, Joey had 1 day off in Bolivia, and this is how he's acting.
While Joey's getting that pulled up, I'm going to remind everybody in the chat to play along. If you think you know the answer to the puzzle, throw it in the chat, because me, Andrew, and JL will have the screen full screen or that chat closed in another way to make sure that we're not seeing your answers, unless we like being dirty little cheaters.
Oh, wow. We do.
Let's do that. That looks a lot better. All right, guys. I'm going to start revealing. Oh boy, Joey. Here we go. We're right back where we were. We're all right. All right. I'm slowly going to reveal letters in 3, 2, 1.
What?
JL. Rashad White. Ooh.
JL. That is correct. So Ryan Jensen, the center for the Buccaneers, was just put on the season-ending IR. How do you feel about Rashad White going forth the rest of the season, JL?
Iffy. That offense has a lot of question marks. I'm not super confident in Todd Bowles as a NFL coach, him leading offenses. He's traditionally a defensive guy. The offenses we've seen from him haven't really impressed me. And so I'm worried there's a lot of missing pieces going into this season. And Rashad White, the running back, doesn't have that much control over the offense. And so he's subject to whatever how that Buccaneers offense plays this season. And I don't think that it's probably worth the price.
Andrew, if you were looking at Rashad White in Dynasty, would he be a seller or a hold or a buy for you?
I think that he's cheap enough where he'd probably be a buy for me, because if he can play well enough, he has strong enough draft capital. It's a round 3 pick that, if you see Caleb Williams come in here next year, you could be excited about this offense. I don't imagine they're going to end up taking another running back. They could, but at the same time, I think White's going to play well this year. I think that he's a 3-down skill set. Honestly, I'm pretty sure he's the next David Johnson, to be totally honest. Like, that's who I think he is when I watch him play. And you know who coached David Johnson? Oh, Bruce Arians. And Bruce Arians also happens to still be part of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization. So, again, the offensive line sucked last year, but White can catch passes. I think that's really kind of going to be his saving grace when Baker Mayfield ultimately can't read the defense and just checks it down to his closest running back.
I'm with you. I mean, we saw Leonard Fournette turn into a high level pass catching back in that Buccaneers offense, right? He had over 80 targets last season. If they're going to pass that volume on to Rashad White and he has the skill set to do it, I'm in that range of running backs. He's the guy I keep on drafting most. Yeah.
I was watching some Buccaneers film over the weekend, and there was all these clips of the line collapsing down, and now it was Tom Brady, granted, but just kind of little shovel pass over the line to Rashad White. And I think he might get a lot of that this year, which would be good for his fantasy value. But I like that Andrew mentioned Caleb Williams coming to the Bucs. It's the first time someone said it on the show other than me.
Are you implying there's a major drop-off from Tom Brady to Baker Mayfield?
Maybe just a little bit. Actually, I'm talking about Kyle Trask now, I think.
Oh, that's right.
All right, let's move on to the next puzzle, guys. The category will be NFL team movie mashup. Now, an example with this would be Leaving Las Vegas Raiders. So it would be a NFL team and a movie mashed together. Not necessarily a team first and the movie second, just you get it, mashed together. All right, so JL, you got that right first, so you get to go first in this round. Would you like to solve or would you like a question?
I would like to solve.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just playing. I don't want a question.
All right. So your question,
genius.
we're going to do PPR fantasy points. I'll give you two players and you tell me which one out of the two had the most PPR fantasy points.
Okay.
JL, who had more PPR fantasy points last season? DK Metcalf or Ezekiel Elliott?
Let's go with Metcalf.
You would be correct. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with an N.
No
N for
way.
Nancy. There are two N's, JL.
Two
Well,
way.
that gives you $1,000. Let's put that in your bank there. So you have the option to buy a vowel, or you can solve, or you can take your second question.
Let's take another question.
All right, we'll be back in PPR fantasy points. Who had more last season, Joe Burrow or Travis Kelce?
Joe Burrow.
You would be correct, JL. What is your next letter you'd like to guess?
Let's go with an R.
R. There is one R, JL.
I'll take another question.
All right. Okay. This will be your third question. Now, if you get this right, just as a reminder, you will bank all of this money and have 5 seconds to guess the puzzle if you get the letter right. PPR fantasy points, who had more last season, Stephon Diggs or Jared Goff?
Goff.
I'm sorry, JL, that's incorrect. Andrew, we're going to go to your first question. Or would you like to solve?
Question.
All right. PPR fantasy points, who had more last season, Lamar Jackson or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
You are correct. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with M.
M is in monster. There are no M's. Andrew, I'm sorry. That little ant sound means you got it wrong. I just wanted to make that clear to you. Excellent. All right, Simon, we're to you now. Would you like to solve or would you like a question?
I'd really like to solve, but I need a question.
Okay.
This isn't an NFL player, is it?
No.
It's a team.
It's an NFL team. Movie
Reading
mashup.
comprehension, JL. Reading comprehension.
All right, Simon. Who had more PPR fantasy points last season, Joe Mixon or Nick Chubb?
It'll be Nick Chubb.
And you would be correct. Simon, what letter would you like to guess?
T.
T is in Tom.
Well,
There
I was
is
sure hoping there was
one
another
T.
one.
Oh my
Now,
God.
Simon, that's going to give you $500. You have the option to buy a vowel. You could take a question or you can solve.
I'm going to buy an I.
All right. There are no I's. JL, back to you. You can, I believe you have some money, so you can buy a vowel if you'd like. You can solve or you can take your first question.
Oh, I don't want to get humiliated like Simon just did.
So you want a question?
Yeah, I'll do it better. I'll buy an A.
Oh, you want to buy an A? All right. There is
See,
one.
Simon, that's how it's done.
That was pretty good, Jail.
That's all you got to do.
You show me how
$100.
Yeah, let's buy an E.
Buy an E. There are two E's. I will
See?
take $200 away from you.
Nice and easy. Let's take it.
I like the shit talking of buying the vowels. That's fun and new. I like that.
Let's buy another vowel.
Like, okay.
Oh, now you're just showing off, JL.
Watch
Which
this
one?
one. Let's buy an O.
Oh, I wonder if there's an O.
All right.
Oh my
That
God.
gives you two
Pretty
O's.
impressive, no?
Now you're down to $1,500.
All right, I'll
JL.
take a question.
All right. This will be PPR fantasy points. Who had more last season? Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
That is correct, JL. What letter would you like to guess?
F.
F for Frank. There is one F.
Phew.
JL, that's going to give you $500. Gets you up to $2,000. Would you like your second question? Would you like to solve, or would you? Well, there's no vowels left.
That was my third question, I believe. Wasn't it?
No, you kept buying vowels to rub it in Simon's face. You did that like 4 times, so I can see why you thought you had 3 questions.
I think I also guessed the N and the R.
In the
Or was
first
that
round.
That was the
In the
first
first
round.
round. Yeah.
All right, I'll take another question.
All right. PPR fantasy points. Who had more last season? Najee Harris or Tyler Lockett?
Lockett.
You are correct, JL. I was surprised at that one. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with the J.
J for Joey.
Oh my
Got one,
God.
Jay.
What the heck is this puzzle, Joey?
What is that first freaking word,
First
Joey?
word, I just have no idea what the first word is.
Well, now I can cross banjo off the list at least.
The chat got this. Like, I don't even think there was letters on the board, and they got it.
Oh, I'll take a question.
All right, this will be your third question, JL. If you get this right, you get to bank all this beautiful money that we converted into Cole's cash at a really terrible conversion rate. All right, PPR fantasy points. Who had more last season? Miles Sanders or Terry McLaurin?
McLaurin.
You are correct, JL. What letter would you like to guess?
W.
That is correct. And you'll get $500 for getting that W right, and you'll have 5 seconds to solve.
Bango of New York.
All right. Andrew, we're going to come to you. If you were to solve this, you would get $1,000. Let me make sure JL gets his money banked. Excellent. Or take a question.
Question.
All right. This will be PPR fantasy points. Who had more last season? Travis Etienne or Russell Wilson?
Travis Etienne.
It was actually Russell Wilson. I was really
Boo.
surprised.
I
at
don't
that.
believe
I know.
it.
Too. I didn't either. I had to check twice. Simon, we'll come to you. Would you like to solve or would you like a question?
I'm so mad right now. Like this seems like it should just be there. Like, oh, now we know it. Give me
the chat is now mocking you all, making up fake movie titles for this.
Keep them coming, chat.
It'll be fun to go through them. All right, Simon, question. All right. Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? T. Higgins or Jerry Jeudy?
T. Higgins did.
You are correct, Simon. What letter would you like to guess?
I'd like an S, Joe.
There are 2 S's. That will give you $1,000.
And I would like to solve because I forgot that you could just make a word plural by putting S on the end of it and was assuming it had to be like CH or something at the end there. This is Bands of New York Jets.
I'm sorry, Simon. It is not Bands of New York Jets.
What?
JL.
Me?
Yeah, we're going to come to you.
Oh my God. What is wrong with me? You stupid idiot. You fool. You buffoon. You just said the wrong word. You know the movie. Sorry, JL. It's your turn.
JL, would you like to solve or would you like it?
I'll take a question.
Okay. Oh boy, it's fun watching Simon tilt like that. All right, PPR fantasy points. Who had more last year? Dak Prescott or Derek Carr?
Prescott.
I'm sorry, JL. It was actually Derek Carr.
That makes sense. I think he played more games and just generally did better.
All right, Andrew, we're back to you. We're back to you. Question, would you like to solve?
Question.
All right. Who had more PPR fantasy points last season? Deontay Johnson or Zay Jones?
Oh, God. It's definitely not Deontay Johnson. So I'm going Zay Jones.
Excellent. You sniffed that out. All right. What letter would you like to guess?
I'm going to go with D.
D.
There's no D on this puzzle. Simon, we're back around to you. Do you know the correct answer?
Can we fire Joey mid-show?
Let's try this.
Why?
Gangs of New York Jets.
That is correct. It is Gangs of New York Jets. Simon, excellent job. So the Jets just wrapped up their stint there on Hard Knocks. I think we have one more episode tonight. Simon, how are you feeling about the New York Jets offense going into this season? Did the preseason give you some optimism for them?
I think optimism is a little strong of a word. I'm curious. I have some positive thoughts. I don't think this offense will be worse than last year, but I'm also a little bit sad that I don't think we'll be getting 50 plus pass a game, Joe Flacco style of offensive performances from this Jets team. I'm curious to see how the receiving core breaks out. Aaron Rodgers, and we know his preference for receivers that he's comfortable with, but now he has a new one in Garrett Wilson, but he's got some of his old buddies there. I think it's an offense where there's probably some value to be had because of the uncertainty outside of the big names like Garrett Wilson, but cautious optimism is probably the best way to put it.
Okay.
Be drafting some Dalvin Cook now. He's going super late.
Absolutely. Mr. Scampers was the first one in the chat with Gangs of New York Jets.
Yeah, he had,
Nice.
he had it like 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes. Oh, no.
We have pants of New York Pets.
Pants of New York Pets. I don't think they wear pants.
Hands of New York Mets.
The hands of the new. Oh, they got the notorious
It's
hands.
at least 18 of them.
Yeah. Lots of fun
Lance
stuff
of New
there.
York Jeff. Lance of New York Jeff. Here to defend my lady's honor. That sounds like something from like a Game of Thrones style show.
Craig's asking me if I thought this was an excellent job. I think it was an excellent job. I think they all worked very hard. And someone's getting married, apparently. Happy wedding. Oh, there's a JL at the end. Okay.
Thanks.
Happy
What's
wedding.
up, Jameson? Welcome in, my friend. I also see Tim down here saying Simon Daniel Day Lewis Grunewald. I am so disappointed.
That is your full name. I'm surprised
That is
you
my
get
full
that.
name.
All right. Well, let's try to redeem ourselves with our next puzzle. Category will be former teammates. Category. So these will be two players that used to play together on the same team. Former teammates. All right. And so, Simon, you got that one. You solved that, correct? So, JL, I believe we go to you first.
Okay.
Would you like to solve or would you like a question? All right. Still in the PPR fantasy points. Who had more last season, Drake London or George Kittle?
Kittle.
That is correct. All right. George Kittle did have more last season.
Yeah. Knew it. First try. No hesitation.
JL, what letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with an R.
There are 2 R's. That's enough to give you $1,000 and an option. You can buy a vowel. You could take another question or okay. All right. PPR fantasy points. Who had more last season? Mac Jones or Mark Andrews?
Mark Andrews.
He did, JL. You are correct. That's your second correct question in a row.
Let's go with an S.
What letter would you like? All right, S. There are 2 S's. That's enough to give you $1,000 more. Would you like to buy a vowel or would you like a question?
I'll take another question.
All right, question. This will be your third and final question. If you get this right and the letter, you'll get to bank all your money. Who had more PPR fantasy points last season, Curtis Samuel or George Pickens?
Pickens.
I'm sorry, JL. It was actually Curtis Samuel. I didn't believe it either. I had to double check that one. Andrew, we're going to come to you for your first question. Would you like to solve or would you like a question?
Question.
All right, let's move categories. We're going to do sleeper, single quarterback, PPR, ADP. So this is ADP found on sleeper for 1 quarterback leagues in PPR. And you'll tell me, I'll give you 2 players. You'll tell me the player that has the better ADP. So who's going first between the 2 players? All right, so who's going first between Lamar Jackson and Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, God. Lamar Jackson?
You are correct, Andrew.
Let's go.
What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with A. Oh, yeah, A.
Oh, that's a letter that you would have to buy. So you have to guess.
And I have no money.
No money.
I'm gonna go with M.
M. All right, there is 1 M. Now I have some good news for you, Andrew. You can now buy vowels if you would like.
Oh boy, I like it.
Would you like to buy the A like you wanted to, or do you want to take another question?
Yes, I want to buy the A.
All right. There are 2 A's in this puzzle. That's going to bring you down to $300. So you either have to solve or take another question.
Question.
All right. Which player is going first in ADP on Sleeper? Deshaun Watson or Justin Fields?
Justin Fields.
You are correct, Andrew. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with T.
T is in Tom. I'm sorry, Andrew. That's incorrect. Simon, we're coming over to you. Would you like to solve or would you like a question?
I would like a question, please, Joe.
All right. Sleeper ADP. Who's going first between Geno Smith and Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, that's a dumb question.
I think so too.
Aaron Rodgers. I would take Geno, but I think
I would too. And you are correct saying Aaron Rodgers. Simon, what letter would you like to guess?
Give me that D, Joey.
Woo! I'll give you the D. There are 2 of them. It's going to give you $1,000, Simon. Would you like to buy a vowel, solve, or would you like a second question?
Yes, I would like to buy an I.
Okay. That's going to give you 2 I's. I'll take $200 away from you. You still have the option to buy vowels if you'd like, or you can take a question, or you can solve.
I will. I'll take another question.
All right. Sleeper ADP. Who's going first between Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins? Did I say?
Oh, that was the question. I forgot to listen.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones and Kirk Cousins.
Or Kirk Cousins.
Ooh. Is Kirky Boy still going first? I'll go Kirk Cousins.
You would be correct. He is still going first, Simon. What letter
Give me
would you
that
like to buy?
N.
N. Simon, there are 3 N's.
I would like to solve.
In 1 second, let me give you your money, and I'll want to hear you solve.
Daniel Jones and Jamison Crowder.
Probably the rudest former teammates I've ever put together. They are former teammates as of today. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
I was not going to get to Daniel Jones. I need a few more letters.
Simon.
I thought it was rude whenever I figured out Jamison Crowder was on there because that man has about like 8,400.
He got cut from the Giants today. Jameson. Is this valid? They never played in a real game together.
That's true.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Jamison Crowder got cut today. So
you have to play in a game to be on the team.
I mean,
they played a preseason game, right?
Are you telling me? I wasn't on my rec league basketball team because I rode the bench all season? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, is Jamison Crowder going to have in his basement? Is he going to have a Giants jersey of all of his jerseys if he's played for? Probably not.
Maybe he has a bar rag.
Oh my God!
On that jersey switch.
I'd love to watch him and try and explain that to people when they come visit his house. It's the Giants. I was there for a few weeks.
This was rude on my behalf. But do you guys see any team going around picking up Jamison Crowder, or is this pretty much happy trails for Mr. Crowder in the NFL?
I can see it. The role that he plays is one that you can continue to play into your elder years. He's got a proven track record of providing some value, and that veteran presence may be enough for one more contract. But he's in the twilight years of his career here, or for past them.
Is there one of the other 11 slot receivers for the Giants you guys prefer if you're drafting this week, which a lot of us are?
I think Hyatt is the best bet.
I think it means, too, they feel better about Wandale coming back from his injury. Because I think they cut Crowder so they can make room for Wandale coming back from the pup.
Yeah. And he was activated today as well, wasn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
Excellent. Well, good for Wandale Robinson and Daniel Jones. And we're sorry to see you go, James Crowder. And I'm sorry to do what I did.
Simon.
Simon.
All right. The chat was all over this as usual.
Also, just want to highlight this. Craig saying Joey all over the place after leaving Bolivia.
I know.
Hey, we're having a good time. Buried that hole.
It changes.
No. See, I came into the show late because the Wi-Fi was a little shaky there in Bolivia. I didn't understand the bury the hole joke. I was trying to piece it together, but
no one does.
Okay, good. All right, let's go to our next puzzle, guys.
Before we do that, I see Herms popping in here saying, sorry, I'm late. I have a note from my mom saying I had a tummy ache. We'll accept it this time, but make sure it has a signature on it that doesn't say mommy next time, Herms.
Yeah.
So we saw straight through that fake note on the end.
There's some Thomas into the computer for Herms. There you go.
Also, Craig coming in saying, Jay, I may have to cancel being on Friday after this blatant attack at me by Joey, the #1 fan in the Crowder fan club. Craig sitting there in the chat.
Protect yourself. Got to protect yourself first, Craig.
Also, Mr. Scamper's down here letting us know Melvin Gordon released by the Ravens.
Oh, no.
So it could be a little bit relevant for J.K. Dobbins' health as we start the season.
All right. Our next category is player geography mashup. I know, this could be a good one. An example of this would be Glacier National Devontae Parker. So this is like a geographical location and a player mashed together. I've been sitting on this for a few weeks now, and I'm very excited to unveil it for everyone today. Simon, you got that correct. So, JL, we're going to go to you first.
Okay. Question.
All right. Sleeper ADP. Which one of these players is going first? Saquon Barkley or Josh Jacobs?
Barkley.
That is correct, JL. What letter would you like to guess?
N.
N. There is one N.
Take another question.
Oh, I got to put 500 on there. And 1 second. Let me just get you your money. There we go. And your next question. Sleeper ADP. Which player is going first? Jonathan Taylor or Nick Chubb?
Chubb.
You would be correct, JL. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with a G.
G is in Godzilla. There are no Godzillas in this puzzle. We are coming to Andrew. Andrew, would you like to solve or would you like a question?
Question.
I just want to make sure. Did you understand the category?
To the best of my extent, yes.
Absolute nonsense.
He's like, no more words you say are going to make this any more clear. So here's my question. You buffoon.
All right. So question. Sleeper ADP. Which player is going first between Jahmyr Gibbs and Najee Harris?
Gibbs.
I'm sorry, it's actually Najee Harris, but we need to correct that wrong right now. Everyone, get in your draft rooms and let's bump Gibbs up.
Let's do it.
Simon, we're heading over to you. Question or would you like to solve? All right. Sleeper ADP. Which player is going first between Joe Mixon or Dameon Pierce?
Joe Mixon.
You are correct, Simon. I like how
Suck
much
it, Pierce.
you had a lot of conviction there. What letter would you like to guess?
I took an L.
L.
Just taking
Sorry.
L's left
There
and right.
No.
There it
L's.
is, left, right, and center.
Double
So
L.
the top word is not. I didn't count the letters, but I hadn't figured out who it was, but I thought it was Yellowstone.
Yes.
This is good.
Why did you think it was Yellowstone?
Yellowstone Pollard is what I thought we were
Oh,
getting at
that's
here.
actually really good.
I should have saved it.
That's actually really good. I didn't think you were able to pull that out. All right, Joey, I'll take a question.
All right, question. Sleeper ADP, who's going first? Aaron Jones or Alexander Madison?
Jones.
That is correct. JL, what letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with M.
Mamma mia.
There is one M, JL.
Mhm.
Now that gives you the option. You already had the option. You could buy a vowel or you can take your next question.
I'll take my next question.
All right. Sleeper ADP, which player is going first between Isaiah Pacheco and Alvin Kamara?
Kamara.
That would be correct, JL. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with an P.
P. There are two P's in this puzzle. You get $1,000 there. You can solve it?
No.
Oh, okay. Or you can buy a vowel, or you can take your third question. If you get it right, you will bank your money.
What?
I'll take another question.
I might get fired after this one. All right. Sleeper ADP. Which player has the better sleeper ADP between James Conner and Rashad White?
Connor.
JL, that would be correct. This was your third question. If you get this letter right, you'll get to bank all of that beautiful money.
Let's go with an S.
JL, you chose a good letter. There are
Wow.
4 S's. That's going to give you $2,000 more dollars. You'll bank that money. Would you like to solve? You have 5
Is there
seconds.
an I missing?
That's what I'm thinking.
If there is, just tell us now, and we can all accept that there's an I missing, and no one will mention it again.
I think there might be an I missing. It would go right here.
Yeah. Okay.
I apologize.
Cool. No,
JL, I'm going to give you 5 more seconds because I got interrupted there.
Okay.
Although this puzzle,
I
this
don't
beautiful
need that.
puzzle would not have fit had I spelled it correctly. So let's
That
just all
is
be
true.
thankful.
Creative liberties.
Okay, I can't solve this.
Okay. You banked $4,000, JL.
Okay.
Excellent guess. Andrew, we're going to come to you. Would you like to solve or would you like a question?
Question.
All right. Sleeper ADP. Which player is going first between Antonio Gibson and Javonte Williams?
Javonte.
You are correct. What letter would you like to guess?
R.
Where's the R? There it is. There are 3 R's. That's going to give you $1,500. You can buy a vowel, you can take your second question, or you can solve.
I'll take a question.
You buffoon, Joey.
All right. Sleeper ADP. Which player is going first between Chris Olave and Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams.
That is correct. I got the giggles. All right. What letter would you like to guess?
Well, I can't guess any vowels, so I'm going to go with V.
Oh, there's one V and there's no more consonants. And I don't think this has ever happened on the show. So you either, I guess, have to buy vowels or solve.
Yeah, I guess those are
Has
the
that-
options.
Has this ever happened before?
I don't think we've ever run out of consonants.
Whoa. Crazy.
I I still don't know what it is, but I know that there's I's everywhere. I know there's another E, so it's not I, it's not E. So it's like
You can purchase vowels here.
You can buy vowels.
all right, let me buy A.
Okay. Sorry, there are no A's. Simon, we're coming to you. You don't have any money. You have to solve or go.
This is the Mississippi Rhine River.
I hate you, Joey.
Yeah, it's the Mississippi Rhine River.
The only reason my head was the only one that didn't immediately drop in Sheen is because I get $1,000. Otherwise, Joey, I would have also just shook in my head in disbelief that you put this on the board.
How do I give you 1,000 without?
Just click on the number and change it to 4,300.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna click on the number and change it to 4,300. While I'm doing that, tell me, Andrew, because I know what these two guys think of Samaje Perine. How are you feeling about him in Denver this season?
I think that he has a nice role. My concern is I just don't know how good Samaje Perine actually is. Like, this was a guy that no one wanted until last year. He had a couple good games. So, like, that's my hesitancy of just, like, buying into him having this role on a Denver offense that we still, like, not sure if it's going to be really good. Like, we're, like, hoping it's going to be, like, better than it was last year. So, I like where his price is because of the Javonte health being in a better state. So no one's really super excited about Perine, but you can still see him having a big role if Javonte gets injured again. And by default, Perine becomes that guy. But I just don't know how much upside he really has. Again, I don't want to over-evaluate a couple games he had last year where he was, again, playing for the Bengals, like offense. Like, I think they can make you look pretty good. Whereas Perine has really been like a journeyman basically since he entered the NFL. So that would be my one hesitance about Perine. But where he's going, I think he's a pretty good value.
We had a lot of hope for Perine back in the day in Washington. I was like early for me fantasy days.
Did he still have a beard then? Has he had the beard the whole time, or
beard
is it
and
recent
bald
development?
I think he's been beard and bald this whole time.
Do you guys think he's ever like sent a Snapchat of like just his pee? You know, like the classic just your flow, don't put your penis in it, send it to your friend Snapchat, and has put like the Mississippi Rhine River as the caption, and then mass sent it out.
I think there's a 100% chance he's done that.
Yeah,
and he probably spelled it wrong too.
See, how many eyes does Mississippi have?
It wouldn't fit.
Stop talking to me at the urinal.
I did think of this one on the toilet, so you are correct in that. All right, let's move to our next puzzle.
Were you on a urinal? I think you're using those wrong, Joe.
The stalls were all full. I was on a urinal.
Okay, so you do what you got to do.
All right, my favorite category. These are banned items, and these are 2 banned items from Soldier Field in Chicago. So while Soldier Field is still there in Chicago as it is, these are 2 items you are not allowed to bring to Soldier Field.
Okay.
All right. And Simon, you solved that. So JL, you get to go first again.
All right, I'll take a question.
All right. Got a few more left here in the sleeper ADP and my scroll. There we go. Which player is going first between Devonta Smith and Amon-Ra St. Brown?
Huh? JL?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You are correct, sir. What letter would you like to guess?
N.
N is in Nancy. There is 1 N. That's going to give you $500.
I wanted more N's.
I know you did, buddy. I'm sorry I couldn't give them to you, but I can let you buy some vowels or take another question.
Question.
All right. This is not the correct answer, but it was funny. Banned items. Arizona Cardinals winning games.
Got him.
That was funny. Got him. All right. Next question. Which player is going first in sleeper ADP? T. Higgins or Amari Cooper?
Higgins.
That is correct, JL. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with a P.
P is in Perine. Ooh, there we go. All right. Got one P. That's going to give you $500. All right. This will be the last sleeper ADP question. Which player is going first between DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley?
Ridley.
JL, you are correct. What letter would you like to guess? If you
L.
get this right. Okay, L. You will get to bank the money. You got 2, so JL, you're going to get to bank all that beautiful money.
Can't solve. Too many spaces.
Cannot solve. Well, JL, that's going to bring you up to $9,000. You're doing
Nipple.
good today.
That's a got him.
Andrew, we're coming to you. Question, or would you like to solve?
Question.
All right. We're going to go over to the FanDuel Sportsbook, and we're going to talk MVP odds. I'll give you 2 players, and you tell me which one's more favored to win the NFL MVP this season at the FanDuel Sportsbook. Got that?
Yep.
Awesome. First 2 players, Aaron Rodgers or Jared Goff?
Aaron Rodgers.
You are correct, Andrew. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with D.
D is in David. There are
Whoa.
4 D's. That's a hot letter.
4 D's.
Whoop. I gave you.
You're
take
just
500
swimming
away.
in the D's.
All right. Now that's going to give you the option to buy vowels, or you could take another question.
I'll take another question.
All right. And this will be FanDuel Sportsbook MVP odds. Who's more favored to win the MVP, Lamar Jackson or Justin Herbert?
Justin Herbert.
You are correct. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with T.
T is in Tom. You said T?
Yep.
Okay. There are no T's, Andrew. I apologize. Simon, we're heading over to you. Would you like a question or would you like to solve?
Wrecked by the letters.
Yeah, you pissed off the phonics god before this. I don't know what you did.
Did you watch your Hooked on Phonics before you came on the show, Andrew?
He spoke
No.
ill of the Rosetta
I
Stone.
know what he did.
I warned you.
100% did not.
He kicked a leapfrog unit on the way to this stream,
Oh,
just
yeah.
out of his way. I'm going to take a question, Joey.
All right. Herms with another wrong answer. Dickastash and non-Polish sausage. All right. Which player is more favored to win the MVP? Dak Prescott or Geno Smith?
Ooh, Dak Prescott.
You would be correct. The quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Simon, what
Yep.
letter would you like to guess?
Give a little Cowboys bias to the sportsbook always.
Yeah.
I'll take the all.
You said R,
Yes.
as in Robert?
Is it really, Joey?
There are
There's not
3
more R's?
R's. Sorry, there's only 3, Simon. Let's
Okay.
give you the option to buy vowels, or you can solve, or you can take another question.
I'll take another question.
All right. Which player is more favored to win the MVP this season? Mac Jones or Justin Jefferson?
Mac Jones.
That is correct.
Stupid,
I don't know if I would.
but it's correct. I just remember that because, like, at one point I looked in Jordan Love before I think Aaron Rodgers was even traded, had better odds to be the MVP than Justin Jefferson.
Crazy.
I'll go
What letter
with
would you guess?
a W.
A W. Simon, there is 1 W.
Yeah, it didn't help though. So seeing it
right.
up there would help me do a little more.
Would you like to buy some vowels, or would you like your third and final question?
Let's take that third and final question.
All right. MVP odds. Which player is more favored to win the MVP this season? Cooper Kupp or Jimmy Garoppolo?
Ooh, I'm still going to go with the quarterback, and I'm going to say Jimmy Garoppolo.
Simon, you would be absolutely correct. What letter would you like to guess?
The S.
There is 1 S. Simon, that's going to give you $2,500. You will bank the money, but I'm going to give you 5 seconds to solve. All right. Good job banking that money, buddy. JL, we're going to come to you for a question, or you can solve.
Question.
All right. Which player is more favored to win the MVP next season, according to the FanDuel Sportsbook? Stephon Diggs or Sam Darnold?
Diggs.
I'm sorry. It's actually Sam Darnold. I couldn't believe it either.
Good
Andrew, we're
question.
going to come to you. Question? All
Yes.
right.
Question.
Oh, somebody said dumb question. I thought Andrew immediately said question. I was like, oh, he's on it. Now, which player is more favored to win the MVP this season? Anthony Richardson or CeeDee Lamb?
Anthony Richardson.
That is correct. What letter would you like to guess?
Let's go with C.
There is 1 C.
Huh.
Now, you have $500, so you can buy a vowel, or you can solve, or you can take another question.
I didn't know that existed.
I'll do another question.
All right. Which player is more favored to win the MVP next season? Tony Pollard or Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams.
That is correct. Andrew, what letter would you like to guess?
H.
H.
Huh.
There are 2 H's. That's going to give you another $1,000. You can buy vowels,
That's
take your third and final question, or you can solve.
E-A.
Oh, I got it.
O-E-A. Oh my God. Wait, what are my options again?
You can buy vowels, or you can solve the puzzle, or you can take your third and final question.
I'll take a question.
All right. This will be your third question. Who's more favored to win the MVP next season? Bijan Robinson or Deebo Samuel?
Deebo Samuel.
That is correct. And I was really surprised with that. Well done.
Ooh,
I
would
gave you the
not have
tricky
guessed
one
that.
and you got it right. What letter would you like to guess?
I'm going to go with V.
V?
Yes.
That is correct. That's 1V. Now you're gonna bank this money, but you have 5 seconds to solve.
Hoverboards and powdered alcohol.
That is correct.
Whatever
Hoverboards and powdered
whatever
alcohol.
that even is. Like
I think it's just the street name for Coke. Just, let me get some of that powdered alcohol so they can say it out loud.
The actual Soldier Field website says palcohol, and I was like, "What the hell is palcohol?" That's a crazy word, and it's powdered alcohol. So we all learned something new every day. And I didn't know hoverboards were real. So apparently they have them in Chicago and they're riding them around. Did you get to ride any hoverboards this weekend, boys?
I didn't step foot off a hoverboard the entire time. It was really
Excellent.
difficult.
That's
It's
all I
actually
wanted to hear.
Chicago law. You have to ride a hoverboard everywhere.
except Soldier Field.
You have to check them.
Yeah, you just see the hoverboard parking garage at Soldier Field.
It's a very odd rule.
It's also where people go just to take a break. Oh God, I've been hoverboarding for 6 days, but I don't want to watch the Bears play.
Oh gosh. So do we have time for one more puzzle, or is that going to be it for us today?
I think that's probably going to be it for us today, which unfortunately for me, but fortunately for John Luke, means that he is going to win today's game 9,000 to 6,800. 2,000. That is JL's victory number 100 on the Fantasy Football Game Show.
I feel like I got it on a technicality, though.
You were here for JL's 100th victory.
That Jamison Crowder puzzle.
My brain is fried.
I
was thinking so hard at so many of these puzzles, and I'm like, I'm glad at least I got one. So like that's a victory for me. You know, internal victory, moral victory.
Moral victory.
By the end of the show, he remembered why it had been since 2021 since he came on and hung out with us.
Like, oh,
and Andrew, I'm so excited for you to forget again over the next 2 years and have you back on in 2025 for another one of these games. I really appreciate you taking the time to come and hang out with us today.
Oh, no, awesome. Always great to chop it up with you guys. I love this show. Love what you guys do. So much fun. I never have any more fun than when on this show versus other shows. This show's always fun.
Really appreciate that. And guys, if you want to keep that fun going, go follow Andrew on Twitter at Andrew Erikson _, and you can check out his work at Fantasy Pros as well. Before we go, one last reminder from the FYF crew here. Our draft guide is up on our website, frontyardfantasy.com. You can purchase it right now. See Joey's mad ramblings about Samaje Perine and Dameon Pierce, along with a bunch of other goodies mixed in there. And if you want to play in our Guillotine League this year, our listener league that we're going to be running, your ticket in is the draft guide. You got to buy that draft guide and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to play along with the 5 of us in that Guillotine League this year. With that being said, I think that's going to be. Thanks to our guest, Andrew Erikson. Thanks to Joey and John Luke. And thanks to everybody in the chat. We will see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Until then, adios, everyone.
So